All right, guys, what's more exciting than hearing about brand spanking new fragrances? Maybe old fragrances, vintage fragrances? But yeah, today it's another one of those videos of new fragrances on the horizon. Some have launched already, some are on their way. But I'm going to report to you on 20 new fragrances that you might want to hear about or get your nose on. Let me know if there's something that you're really excited about that you heard about. Add a comment below so we can all find out. Some of these have just been revealed, some a few weeks ago, but I'm just putting the video together now and I'm going to let you know about them. I have gotten my nose on a few of them. I'll let you know my first impressions. I haven't worn any of them personally, but I just smelled them in passing. So the first one is from the house of Maison Crivelli. It's Tobacco Carnaval. I really love the name of this one, and it comes after the new musk that Maison Crivelli just launched. This is also an extract. It comes in the brownish bottle, similar to this Saffron Secret. This is apparently an exclusive fragrance to a Middle East store. I don't have all the details for it yet, but I'm excited for it. I love tobacco and fragrances. I love the extracts from Crivelli. I wore the musk. I felt like the musk is the weakest of the bunch, meaning it's not as super strong as some of the other ones, but I enjoyed the smell. It was also a bit on the rosy side. So I'll report back on that, but I'm really, really curious about the Tobacco Carnival. Not only do I like the name, I like the idea of it, so I can't wait to get my nose on it and report back. But sadly, it is an exclusive. This is kind of like an exclusive when Ingredients launched, which later became the Saffron Secret. What am I saying? So it's the same color bottle. So I think what they're doing is when it's an exclusive fragrance, it's coming out in these kind of a brownish looking bottle. If you've gotten your nose on this one, let us know. I'm really excited and looking forward to getting my nose on Tobacco Carnival. I'll report back on the musk. I think what I'll do is do a video on all of the extracts from Maison Crivelli, and hopefully I can get my nose on Tobacco Carnival as well. Let me know, as I said, if you've gotten your nose on it. Are you looking forward to it? Are you a fan of tobacco fragrances like I am? Add a comment below. Now, the next one is from the house of Marc-Antoine Barrois. It's a new exclusive Harrods fragrance called B87.135. Another collaboration with Quentin Bisch. I think all the fragrances of Marc-Antoine Barrois are created by Quentin Bisch. I think Ganymede has pretty much put Quentin Bisch on the map. So I actually flew to London 3 or so weeks ago, and the day I arrived, I visited Harrods because my hotel was somewhat close to Harrods, and I went and I saw that there was a display for this fragrance. And it's funny because I had just heard about the fragrance the day before or even that day. So I didn't realize it was released as an exclusive to Harrods. So I went there and I found out that Marc-Antoine Barrois and also Quentin Bisch were recently there, so for the launch of the fragrance. So I ended up buying this exclusive fragrance because I was told that it will not get a worldwide release, but I've heard that before. Sometimes they say that and then it's eventually released. I bought it, but I should say I've worn it a couple times. It's definitely not my favorite in the Marc-Antoine Barrois collection. I still prefer Ganymede. Also, I prefer the extract of B683. So this could be the third favorite of the bunch. It's not up there with between Ganymede and the extract of B683, but I felt like it was decent. So I'll report back on it further the more I wear it, but as of the amount that I've worn it so far, it's definitely not beating Ganymede in the original version or the extract version, and even the B683 extract version, because I enjoy B683, but I prefer the extract of B683. It's also more animalic and oudi, and it's definitely really potent. So that is my second favorite of the fragrances of Marc-Antoine Barrois. But if you've gotten your nose on it, what are your thoughts? Add a comment below. Let's move on to Imaginary Authors. They have a fragrance called First Peach of the Season. This has probably been out for a while or has been announced for a while, and I have to get my nose on it. Imaginary Authors is definitely one of my favorite indie artisanal brands, and the fragrances are created by Josh Meyer, who is the man behind the brand. So he creates all of the fragrances. This is featuring notes of benzoin, bitter orange, cream, honeydew melon, jasmine, lactone, sensual skin accord, yellow peach. Only thing that turns me off about the idea of this fragrance is the honeydew melon. Not my favorite note in fragrances, but they've surprised me along the way. So I'll get my nose on this one either way because I enjoy the fragrances of imaginary authors. So we shall see how it is. If you've gotten your nose on it, let me know. Let us know. Add a comment below. Let's move on to the next fragrance. We've got two fragrances from the house of Initio Parfums. I don't think they're 100% selling at stores yet. I think they're exclusive online right now. But the first one is Sugar Blast. I heard about Sugar Blast quite a while ago. There was not a lot of information about it until recently. So Sugar Blast, I did get my nose on it. It wasn't as exciting as I thought, but it was just a really quick passing smell. But it features notes of lavender, coconut, vanilla, praline, rum, cashmeran, and Ambroxan. So I think the brand has, better fragrances, but maybe these fragrances do need to be worn and tested. Both of the fragrances, the next one also have lavender in the notes, which is kind of interesting. Lavender is kind of making a comeback. There's a lot of lavender themed fragrances that I'm seeing on the horizon. I'm going to talk about a Matiere Premiere lavender focused fragrance as well. So let's see, is lavender the new it note? Are you a fan of lavender and fragrances? Have you gotten your nose on Sugar Blast? Let us know. Add a comment below. Let's talk about the next Initio Parfums fragrance. And the next fragrance from Initio Parfums is Wild Rush. This one also features lavender, as I said. I've got my nose on both of them. I actually preferred Wild Rush a little more than Sugar Blast. I thought I would love Sugar Blast, but it's definitely not. It's not the fragrance I thought it was going to be, given the name it is. So yeah, I was kind of surprised. But Wild Rush I enjoyed, and actually Wild Rush reminded me a bit of more of a fougere style, but it features bergamot, lavender, vanilla, caramel, red berries, sandalwood, and patchouli. So let me know your thoughts. Have you sampled these two new fragrances from Initio Parfums? Add a comment below. Again, I hope to get my nose on them further, test them out, and see what they're all about, and I'll report back to you guys and let you know. But also, I do want to let you guys know, I'm in a courtyard here in this building and they're doing some work out there. So if you're hearing some noise, there's some construction work happening. So I apologize, but I also found out that they've put a beehive up on top of the roof. So I got to find out what that's all about after I'm done shooting this video. But let's move on to the next fragrance. The sixth fragrance I'm talking about today is from the house of Juicebox. They have a new fragrance called Wave of Freedom. And no, I did not collaborate on this fragrance. Of course, the one I collaborated on with Juicebox is 54, inspired by Studio 54, nightclubs, and wearing patchouli. This is a gourmand patchouli fragrance, although I think it's less of a gourmand. It's boozy, vanillic, chocolatey, spicy, tobacco-ish. But this new one, Wave of Freedom, is inspired by the Beach Boys, perfect for California. Created by Bruno Jovanovic, and it's the latest fragrance from Juicebox. I should also say Juicebox will be at Scentfest SF if you're still contemplating on getting your tickets. That's one of the brands that's coming. I'm going to start giving you guys teases until they're all announced on the website. But if you want to meet the folks at from Juicebox, please go get your tickets for Scentfest SF, which is taking place on June 26, 27, and 28. It's a perfect setting to launch the new Wave of Freedom, which, as I said, is a California band, the Beach Boys inspired fragrance. But this is a Bruno Jovanovic creation featuring notes of pear, cinnamon, creamy coconut accord, pineapple accord, patchouli, amber ever, tonka beans. But I got my nose on Wave of Freedom probably last September. I haven't smelled it since then. I think it's quite fruity and fun and playful. So I think it should be fairly decent. I'll have to get my nose on it once the fragrance launches, and I think the fragrance launches next month. I think it's currently exclusively selling at Selfridges and definitely debuting at Scentfest SF as well. As I said, Juicebox will be one of the brands at the show, and so hopefully you guys will come and check out Juicebox and a lot of other brands. So let's move on to the house of Tom Ford. It is Soleil Blanc Parfum. They're launching a Parfum edition of Soleil Blanc, and Soleil Blanc Parfum features notes of Ylang-Ylang, cardamom, jasmine, pistachio, coco de mer, vanilla. So this is a Parfum edition of the long-standing Soleil Blanc fragrance. I feel like they're kind of milking it with this series because they've created so many flankers of this particular series of fragrances. Now they're also doing the Parfum. I think what they've done is the Soleil Neige Parfum. Now it's the Soleil Blanc Parfum. I think those are the two more popular offerings from this collection, which I believe started out with Soleil Blanc. But I like this series. I actually really love this fragrance, including Soleil Neige. I haven't gotten Soleil Neige Parfum, but I'm looking forward to checking out Soleil Blanc Parfum as well. If it's launched already, let us know. Add a comment below. So let's move on to the next fragrance. We've got a new fragrance from the house of Trudon, and it's called Carmen, and it features tobacco. Again, big fan of tobacco. I'm always there when I hear a fragrance that features tobacco. And the last great fragrance that I really loved from Trudon, Maison Trudon, is 45 Degrees. It was one of my favorite offerings from last year. Really delicious fragrance, so I'm hoping this fragrance is going to be delicious as well. Carmen is created by Emily Bouge, and it features labdanum, tobacco, cloves, moss, ambroxan, patchouli, oakwood, leather, bergamot, rum, and grapefruit. Does it sound great to you guys? Carmen, yeah, I think it's inspired by Bizet's Carmen opera. I think that's what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see what it's all about. I can't wait to get my nose on it. If it's as good as 45 Degrees, I'll talk about it because I really, really love 45 Degrees. It was, like I said, one of my favorite fragrances of last year. In fact, it was probably my number one, as I'm not remembering if it was, but it's either one or two, and looking forward to checking out Carmen. But guys, I'm so sorry, the noise. There was no noise here, and I knew that they were doing some construction, and all of a sudden I get on camera and the noise picks up. So hopefully it's not picking up too much of the background noise. Let's continue with the fragrances. We've got a new one from the house of Rosendo Matu. It's a new one in their original series of fragrances, and this is number 10. So they've done 10 fragrances in this collection. This one is Musk, Musk, Musk. Rosendo Matu number 10, Musk, Musk, Musk. So what is it all about? Musk. Musk is a great note for me, or musk-style fragrances are great fragrances for me, so I'm really super curious what this one's all about. But it features the notes of aldehydes, hedione, sylvanone supra, fluoridrol, ambrotelide, amberwoods, habanolide, exaltalide, ambroxan, vanillin. This is sounding so good. I really like molecular musky notes, so I'm all over this fragrance. This is going to be a favorite, unless it sounds better on paper rather than smell. But I'm really curious to get my nose on this one. If you've sampled this one, guys, let us know what it's all about. Let's move on to the next fragrance from the house of Le Labo. This is Shiu 25. Is that how you say it? I think this is an exclusive fragrance for the Beijing. Is it Beijing? Is it an exclusive? I think this is a city exclusive. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is a city exclusive. But either way, this features notes of olibanum or frankincense, camphor wood or camphor woods, pink pepper, and iris. So Le Labo's lately been a bit boring for me. I'm hoping this is super exciting, but their prices have gone way up. Their concentration has not. I mean, let's see what it's all about. I've bought a few. I bought the Myrrh fragrance recently, which was a city exclusive from one of the cities in China. I thought it was Shanghai. And so let's see what this one is all about as well. But if you've got your nose on it, let us know. Do add a comment below. So the next fragrance I'm talking about is from the house of Thomas de Monaco. It's called Luisant Haze, created by Corinne Chevalier. And it's tuberose, cotton candy, white musk, wild strawberries, tonka, safraline, amber extreme, pink pepper, cardamom. So I did get my nose on this one at Paris Perfume Week. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I need to test it out and see if I love it more than Raw Gold and Sol Solgado, or a few of the newest ones that launched a few months ago, or if it's, not as good as the others. So I need to test it out, but on sniff, initial sniffs, it was quite good. And I enjoyed the work of Corinne Chevalier. She's done fragrances for Gallivant, so I want to test this one out further and see what it's all about. If you've gotten your nose on Luisant Haze, let us know what you think. Let's move on to Tower Perfumes next. He's launching another Absolue, which seems like this is another... So I think it was called Patch Flash. There were the series of flash fragrances. We had Rose and Vanilla, and those became Absolue fragrances. Now that he's bringing the Patch Flash back, but as an Absolute in the original bottle. So this is patchouli, spices, cloves, cinnamon, boozy notes, amber, sandalwood, vanilla, and benzoin. So yeah, I do enjoy, these three are my favorites. I love the vanilla and I love the rose. And my third favorite, or one of my three favorites, was Patch Flash. So I'm glad it's coming back. But I didn't really care for a lot of the other ones. I know I had some friends that loved the Incense Flash. There was also the Amber Flash. There was also Frutuli Flash, but those are long gone now. But I'm glad he's bringing them back. I think the price might be a bit higher than normal because the 30 ml bottles were around $65. So I think these are like $200, but it is a 50 ml. It is a 50 ml bottle, so it's a bigger bottle, but still price wise, it is definitely higher. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on these Absolute fragrances from Tower Perfumes, and were you a fan of the Flash series of fragrances? Do let us know, add a comment below. All right, next up, we've got a fragrance from the house of YSL. It's another Extrait launch. This time it's of the fragrance Muse. You know, I never bought a bottle of Muse. I really enjoyed it. It was quite powdery, and I love powdery iris-focused fragrances, but I never bought it. I don't know why. I need to get a bottle of it, but now they have an Extrait version of Muse. So now I'm gonna have to decide between the original or the Extrait. But you know what, guys? I went into Paris looking for the Extraits of Blouse and Tuxedo, but they weren't out yet. I asked at several stores. They said it hasn't come out yet. It won't come out until May. And I'm like, you guys announced it like months ago. Now there's a third announcement of an extract, but they're not out yet. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe some delays or something. But the third extract is launched from the Le Vestiaire collection, and none have come out yet. If it's not the truth and it's already selling at some various places, guys, let us know, because I looked around all over Paris and there's no way nobody had it. So, but Muse Extrait has notes of concrete, olibanum, ink, ambrette, clary sage, lavender, orris, vanilla, oud, and oak. Does this one sound to you good to you guys? What do you think about concrete as a note? Let us know, add a comment below. Next up, going to the house of Memo Paris, it's Odeon Rosebud. Once again, created by Aliénor Massenet. She does a lot of fragrances for Memo Paris. This features notes of rose, peony, pink pepper, freesia, bergamot, apricot, patchouli, cashmeran, and musk. So it seems like it's going to be something like fruity, floral, musky, and capitalizing on the rose and peony and musk and spiciness from pink pepper. I've seen this theme come up quite a bit in fragrances. It also kind of seems like it could be something similar to Delina, or maybe they want to make something Delina-esque, because it sounds like that kind of a fragrance to me. But let's see what it's all about and get my nose on it and smell it, but I'm curious to see. But there's not much representation for Memo Paris in the States anymore. I don't know what's going on with the brand here. Also, their store in Paris was closed. It was boarded up, so I don't know what's going on with the brand. But let's move on to the house of Eccentric Molecules next. They have a new fragrance called Cologne 1. This features notes of juniper berry, hedione, iris, water lily, bergamot, ginger, amber, musk, ISOE super, lemon, lime, and mandarin. So basically, it's the cologne style of fragrance, and in the Eccentric Molecule style. They're using ISOE Super, which is taken from their Molecule 1 fragrance, and adding to it to create a cologne style fragrance, which to me kind of reminds me of their eccentric fragrances, whereas Molecule 1 is just one molecule. ISOE Super, Eccentric 1 is Molecule 1's ISOE Super plus additional notes. So this seems like it's a new take on something like that. We'll have to see. I like the idea of cologne fragrances or cologne style fragrances. And let's see what Eccentric Molecules has done. Here's the next lavender fragrance. This is Matiere Premiere's Metal Lavender. They had Crystal Saffron. Now we have Metal Lavender. How good is this one going to be? But it's lavender in two different varieties. Cashmeran, musk. Those are the notes that are listed here. So it's going to be musky, metallic, and aromatic from the sound of the fragrance, and also the notes that are credited, especially since musk and cashmeran are musky notes. Cashmeran being a bit woody, powdery, so this seems like it's going to go powdery, metallic, aromatic, spicy, and things like that. So that's Matiere Premiere's Metal Lavender. Most likely it's created by Aurélien Guichard, who does all of the fragrances for Matiere Premiere. So the next fragrance for Fugazzi is Nicocello. This is bergamot zest, blood orange, cedrat, lemons, bitter orange, Madagascar pepper, pineapple, akigala wood, ambrofix, Georgywood, pepper wood. So it's most likely a Givaudan creation, especially we've got Akigala wood and Georgywood as notes. Those are proprietary ingredients for Givaudan. I believe this house, Fugazzi, does all their fragrances with Givaudan perfumers. Are you guys a fan of the house? Do you like their fragrances? Let us know. Add a comment below. I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's all about. But the next fragrance is from the house of Chris Collins. This is Sunset in Tamarindo, and it's a fragrance created by Alexis Grujon. This is featuring notes of Davana, mandarin orange, mango, papaya, frangipani, osmanthus, Ylang-Ylang, musk, sandalwood, vanilla. I love the idea of tamarindo, but I don't see tamarindo listed as a note in the fragrance. So is it just the idea? They're creating this style of tamarind with other notes. Let's see what it's all about, but I like the sound of this, and let's see what it smells like. Next, we've got a fragrance from the house of Memoirs of a Perfume Collector, and it's a fragrance called California Love. I liked some of their fragrances. I discovered the house at the Beauty World Middle East in Dubai almost 3 years ago, but I haven't really gotten my nose on a lot of their fragrances because I don't see them selling much at any places. So I want to kind of circle back and check out the fragrances of this house. If you have favorites, let me know which ones I should check out. But this California Love features notes of passion fruit, orange, bergamot, lemons, mojito, blackcurrant, ambroxan, musk, and oak moss. It sounds quite good. Fruity once again. I think they do quite a bit of fruity. This one has the mojito, so it's a bit minty, but fresh and perfect for summer, I think. Let me know if you're a fan of this house, Memoirs of a Perfume Collector. What are your favorite fragrances? What should I check out first? Add a comment, and let's move on to the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about today. It's from the house of Calvin Klein. Yes, Calvin Klein has a new fragrance. It's a new flanker to CK1. It's called Night Essence. CK1 Night Essence features notes of sandalwood, tea, musk, iris, amber, shiso, cardamom, suede, patchouli. Whoa, the fact that they've added shiso, super green, almost minty aromatic note against all these other notes sounds kind of strange. It must have worked for them to launch such a thing, but I can only imagine how it contrasts against all the other notes that are in this fragrance that seem like they could work well together. But the shiso sounds a bit interesting because shiso has a very interesting smell. It's, like I said, it's kind of a mint, but it's almost like other herbs mixed together. Maybe a little bit of cilantro, maybe a little bit of basil, mint for sure. So it's this kind of a very interesting green note. So the fact that it's in here and they've added it in here sounds like it works in a great way. So the only way I can find out is if I get my nose on it, and I'll report back to you guys. But that's the last fragrance I'm talking about today. What are your thoughts on these fragrances? Let us know. Add a comment below. And thanks so much for watching today, guys. Sorry about the noise. As I said, I didn't realize they were going to start doing their work. I've been here most of the day. There was no noise except for some little noises here and there. But I guess they found out I was going to get on camera, so they're going to make a noise for me. But also, guys, don't forget to check out Scentfest SF. We'll be announcing a lot of great brand names soon that are going to be exhibiting here. It's going to be a great show, first show on the West Coast, and it's a great way for you guys to discover, meet brands, brand founders, brand owners, perfumers, and also have some awesome experiences all around fragrances. It's Scentfest SF happening June 26, 27, and 28, and I hope to see you guys here. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.